discussions. You got Nash in the building.
Got Ash in the building.
Hmm. So, what is it that you have for us today?
I have, I want to talk about how people think that they are the experts in your life.
Hmm.
They feel like they know more than you know about your own situation. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing seeking advice and
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature, but then you have those that come off very pushy and negative when it comes to something that you may be expressing to somebody, and they're overstepping. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
To the point where it's like, hold on, wait a minute. That's not what I was given when I gave you what I was giving you when I was venting to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to feel like I'm being judged when I'm presenting something to somebody, and I'm presenting it in a way to, just seek, support.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's one thing, putting your little 2 cents in there, but don't be negative when you telling me something.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are not mindful of that when they're
Mm-hmm.
expressing these different things to an individual. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it could be friendships, relationships, family, relationships,
Mm-hmm.
work. You know what I'm saying? So this goes all the way around the board. So this is just not tied to one individual per
Mm-hmm.
se. And then we'll just get into it. What you think?
That happens more often than we would like to admit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of sort of, how can I say this? It's like, do we take, do both parties take accountability in it, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we sometimes, or the accountability has to be to the person that's sharing because you chose to open up and share to this person, although you didn't expect this person to overstep, to tell you to do things that they wouldn't never even think about doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's always easier for somebody else to tell somebody how to do something. Oh, I would do this, I would do that. But when they're presented with the same issue, you don't see them reacting in the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's because we could say something all day, but to add an action to it is a whole nother story,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it honestly, and sometimes you just got to be really thinking about the people that does this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm sitting here and I'm coming to you and I'm really struggling right now, like I am having a hard time trying to figure out this issue, and I'm like involved in it, emotionally involved in it, mentally involved in it, and for you to not even like ponder it a little bit, you just shooting stuff straight out there, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
did you think about all of the pros and cons of what I've just said to you? Yes, it may be easy to say, and I say we speak of relationship wise, I would have left him. I would have been left her. Ain't nobody gonna play with me like that. If I was you, I would get all of his stuff, all his stuff together, and throw that stuff right out in the trash. Take that stuff over to his mother house. Take that stuff over to her sister house. However you
Mm-hmm.
choose to do it, and it's like people make an issue bigger than what the issue really is. And
Mm-hmm.
although a person may be venting to you,
Mm-hmm.
they're venting, of course, because their heart is on the line. Their mental is all wrapped up in this because they can't believe it. They're just trying to figure it out, right? Because they're
Mm-hmm.
tied to this individual. So why would you be so careless in the advice that you're spewing out? Like that don't even make sense to me. Like they say things that they take it. It could be this, and then they go on to take your stuff all the way over there.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like a lot of times it's like you cause people to not want to share, right?
Yeah.
And then like who doesn't want to like vent a little bit, like you
Yeah.
know what I mean, who doesn't want to say, regardless of the fact, because a lot of times we already got our mind made up, right?
Yeah.
And I might just be coming to you to say, girl, X, Y, and Z happened, right? And as I'm speaking, I'm already formulating what I'm going to do, right? Or even prior to speaking to somebody, but sometimes you just got to get it out in the universe, right? That's why it's extremely important to pick and choose your safe places, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad when you think something is a safe space and it's really not a safe space, you know what I mean? And people are waiting for these things to happen. You don't know they're waiting, but they are waiting, and you can tell when someone's waiting by their responses, right? The extremeness and what they tell you to do. It's like, wait, what? If you know my heart, if you know what I really feel for this person. Why so extreme? Why are you kicking me? And I just expressed to you that I am broken right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am struck. I'm having a real hard time trying to figure this out. Like, I need you to act as if you were in my shoes right now,
Mm-hmm.
and be vulnerable in my shoes. Be do all of the things you would want somebody to do for you. But
Absolutely.
people don't have, and that goes back to kind of sort of to our topic last week about having solid people. A lot of people not solid. You know what I
No, they're
mean?
not.
They're not genuine. They're not a lot of things, and it comes out like, and you know, that's like kind of like red flag stuff. Like, we really don't be wanting to say what it really is, but we really know what it is. And I guess that gotta come with being hurt sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
disappointed, whatever labels you want to, the descriptive words you want to throw on it. But at the end of the day, people show you all the time just where they at in their own life, by how they choose to react to your stuff, their stuff, and anybody's stuff. Sometimes it don't have nothing to do with it. You ever see somebody else sitting together, and it could be somebody across the street doing something, and they are deeply invested in a situation that has really literally nothing to do with them. Ooh, I would have bashed him up in his head with something. I would do this. I would do this. Girl, they always argue. She need to leave him. She need to leave that. So all you really doing right now is getting a glimpse of what's going on. We don't know what's going on, right? But people would sit there and draw up this whole narrative of what they think is going on about
Mm-hmm.
with the little seconds that we see in front of us. And it's like, that girl, especially when you know their life.
And you look around and be like,
All that stuff, oh boy, just did to you. So why you do none of that to him?
and that goes to the fact that people have some nerve up on their asses. I mean, for real. The nerve, and it's just messed up because the circumstances don't even align with what they're trying to put out there or trying to tell you what to do and what they think you should or shouldn't be doing, right?
Absolutely.
It could be something so minuscule and they talking all this fly stuff. They got all the answers. Oh, you need to leave him alone. You should have been had enough of him because I would have been going. But here it is. You getting your back dug out by somebody. You being treated like utter shit. But here it is. You guys to be negative and speak negativity on what I'm speaking. I mean, it could be something small because no relationship is perfect. At the end of the day, it's going to be little hiccups, little, spats or whatever. And sometimes when somebody comes to, somebody that's their friend or whatever the case may be, or family, whoever, and you're venting, sometimes you got to look at it on both sides. If I'm the person that you're coming to and you're venting to me, and I'm like, well, maybe it might have not been like that. Did you look at it this way? Well, maybe, you know what, that's correct. You know what I'm saying? Because people want to look at it one-sided. And it's kind of based on the nature of the relationship because it's like it feels like they want to ride for you so heavy, and it's like, how are you madder than this person that's telling you this situation? But at the same time, you have to be neutral in a situation and really look at both parties and really look at it for what it is and what it ain't, because your friend that's venting to you can very well be a little over the top or could be wrong in a situation. You're like, girl, you was wrong for that shit, girl. Now stop. Come on now. Stuff like that or whatever. But for you to go above the catastrophic size of my situation is not cool. You the expert in Margaret life or whoever, Harry, whoever. You the expert in their life, but your stuff is, you ain't even take a whole full picture at your relationship and what's going on your side of things before you go casting judgment on somebody. At the end of the day, people oftentimes want to have the ability to give advice, right? But you're not taking your own advice. If you took your own advice, I think you would be better off, some people. If you took your own advice and took a step back and really reflected and not deflected on things and really take a deep dive into what it is that's going on with self, rather than, analyzing and, picking apart what somebody else got going on, and that says a lot about the individual at the end of the day. Like you said, people sit around and be waiting
Mm-hmm.
They be waiting on the bench to. They do. They be waiting on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
You been sitting on the sideline all that time, and now you ain't been cheering me on a good note. But soon as something negative or something a little spat come up, you're overly like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's certain people that I choose not to vent to,
Mm-hmm.
or I might share very little because I don't like the responses that have been given to me in the past. I don't like the judgments and telling me, oh, you need to do this. Excuse me. Excuse me. And nobody wants to go tick for tack, but had I been the person to bring up which you bring up as a point to make in an argument, you'd be looking around shocked and confused as to what is happening. Yeah, look around because are you okay?
They not okay.
You know, they can't be, because if you're sitting up here bringing negativity, even down to children, per se, right? And you have an individual that knows what's going on with your child, or any child for that matter, that knows the issues that's going on, and the first thing they say out their mouth is, "Oh, you need to do more than what you're doing." Basically, that's not what the person said verbatim, but what do you mean? I'm doing the best that I can do.
Absolutely.
That goes along with giving yourself enough credit and giving yourself a pat on the back at the end of the day, because people will take you there. If you allow people to, give unsolicited advice where it doesn't need to be given, and these are the negative people that continues give that unsolicited advice. It's like, are you uplifted by giving out negativity to shy away from your messed up life and your messed up situation and things that's going on, that you telling a person that would have never dealt with what you would have dealt with, but here it is, you're telling somebody what you wouldn't have dealt with. Come on, let's make it make sense around here. Seriously.
Yeah. That's crazy, right? You really kind of think about it, because it's goes back again to being genuine, right? Because if I know what you're dealing with, especially when it comes to anybody with their children, right? The children, how you want to word it, and why would I tell a person that I know for a fact has been crossing their T's and dotting their I's with minimum to zero support, they should be doing more? Why would I say that? I mean, really, as if people aren't dealing with enough already.
Absolutely.
The stuff that people carry is already heavy. Why would I tell you that? Sometimes it can't. I don't even know if you can scratch your head. Sometimes I really don't even know what you can do at this point when people do and say certain things out their mouth, especially to such sensitive topics, right? It's like they make you almost want to turn it up on them, right? And forget, I don't care who you are. I literally had to take that off the table real quick, because you didn't care who I was. You know what I mean? And that's sad. That's really a sad space to have to draw to when dealing with a person, because it doesn't make sense. It really don't. That's some wild stuff that when you really think about it. But to think about it with a lot of people. Think about it. People that really got stuff going on, they ain't got time to be up in your stuff. Listen, I'm trying to figure my life out. You understand? I'm literally I'm doing this, doing this. Why the heck do I got time to figure out what you got going on, or to even impose any negativity in your direction? Because I don't want no negativity in my daggone direction. So I'm not going to do that to nobody. It doesn't make sense. I just feel like the more self-aware we become as women, mothers, spouses, however you want to, sisters, friends, daughters, however you want to co-work, whatever you want to label, whatever, because we wear so many titles, it shows you more and more the importance of the boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it gotta be, sometimes people do throw a lot of stuff on you sometimes, and it's like, listen, to tell me today I can only do 10% right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to keep my mental health in check.
Yeah.
That keeps me not emotionally involved to the point that I'm overly involved in a good way though,
Mm-hmm.
with your BS right now, because I don't have it to give. Like I literally don't have it today. Like I'm literally carrying my own stuff today, and I don't have it to give to you. So today I'm on 0.
Yeah.
And there gotta be like a mutual thing, a respect thing, right?
Yeah.
Unless something is so wrong. Cause give me, I might later on today I might be a little bit more charged up, and I could kind of like hear what you got to tell me. Like you could vent, especially if it's something that doesn't reach the priority list.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's just like some everyday stuff that we may keep cackle about, and even though it may be a annoyance to you, but I don't have it today.
I ain't got it today.
I literally don't. Like I'm at a negative 5% on my own scale today, and I really don't have it to give to you.
Yeah.
And I really think that a lot of people, especially when you don't really have too many supports to reach out to, I think it's kind of important for people to start like really looking at it like that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, certain people, of course, that doesn't apply to.
Yeah.
But a lot of people it applies to.
Yeah, you gotta
I don't
say
have it for you today. Now move around now, and then if you can't respect my boundaries, I ain't even got no more.
Excuse me, watch out.
Yeah.
Excuse me, watch out.
Oh, the phone is getting hung up.
Yeah.
Because I have just told you that I didn't have it today to give to you. That's selfish. That's inconsiderate. You know what I mean? And you're not being mindful about me right now.
That part.
So you just gotta, and when people are able to, that shows growth, that shows respect, that shows so many different things. Mindfulness, it shows so many different things if you really think about it, because people gotta know where their levels are at. Seriously, because there's some, like we could keep going back to it all the time, like this pandemic has really like put a damper on a lot of people emotionally, mentally, and financially, right? It's just to the point that it's crazy. Like it's crazy, and although we like struggling to get back a little bit, not all of us, because a lot of us are still blessed on those time frames. I mean, a lot, but at the end of the day, it's just like this. People really, really, really got to know what they up against, who they up against, who they're surrounded by, because people, just because you feel like, oh, that's my mom, oh, that's my sister, oh, that's my spouse, oh, that's my friend for 54 years, oh, oh, that's my coworker, we always talk and get lunch together, we real cool. You have to always know what somebody's intentions are for you. You know what I mean? And then when you see something slightly different than what you thought it was, you really gotta tap into that. It's important. It's extremely important, because if not, you'll hurt yourself in the long run. You know what I mean? You can avoid a lot of disappointments. You can, avoid the whole, because sometimes I think that's like so crazy to me when you see your friend is already done and you constantly still kicking. What are you doing?
You don't kick a person when they're down.
You know what I mean? I just don't. That right there, I think is like wow, because even regardless if we get married, is married, you know what I mean? Whatever, friendship is extremely important. You know what I mean? It really is, because think about it. Your friends are the people that be around through all of the mess, right? Through all of the goods, the bads, whatever. Right? So why would you be handling the person or the people that should be on the priority list as well? Right along with your kids, your spouse, all of that stuff. Like, especially if somebody is if they genuine, if they really, the love is in a mutual thing, whatever. Like, people don't, I feel like a lot of the times people don't really hold their friendships in the same light as they do, romantic relationships. And I really just know that friendship is extremely, extremely important, because yes, when your spouse is getting on your nerves, who you run into? You gotta talk to somebody, right? Whatever, however it goes. And people think that sometimes friendship is only in people that's not blood related, but you have friendships in sisters, You know what I mean? Your brother, whatever. Even sometimes your mom, dad, stuff like that. Even with your spouse. You know what I mean? So friendship to me is first and foremost and extremely important. No matter the nature of the relationship, it has to be had. Because like I said, it could avoid a lot of this. Giving
Yes.
people the ability and the door to walk through and to be the expert in your life.
Absolutely not.
You know.
Because it's just sad. You know, because that's the importance of just being assertive
Mm-hmm.
and really letting somebody know. Listen, like you said, like look, I ain't got it right now. Gotta give me a minute. That's the ability to understand what you got going on and what you're feeling, because you don't want that overspill and direct that energy the wrong way when you're aware, like, listen, I need a moment, you know, and it's okay to have a moment, and you got people that really don't understand that. Like, some people sometimes don't want to be bothered, but that goes back to people that have different rules for themselves than other people, whereas though they have the ability to tap out and, you know, be able to go ahead and get their recharge and be okay. Whereas though when somebody else want to get their recharge, oh, what's wrong with you? What, you got an attitude? What's your problem now? What's this? What's that? And it's like, wait a minute, it's none of that. You're assuming right now. Everybody needs a moment, given what's going on in their personal life. It might be something from work.
Life.
Exactly. So you don't know what's going on for you to sit up here and try to, again, tear somebody down because they need a moment. You know what I'm saying? Or don't want to be bothered. And that's where people get withdrawn and they start taking a step back and say, you know what? This is my boundary. Let me take a step back and kind of, you know, keep to myself a little bit, because I know where things are going to go. Or you might go to a party or somewhere or whatever the case may be, and you always got to know, that's that when you get to that really self-authenticness, when you know, like, oh, I had enough of this shit right now, like, it's time for me to go. Oh, I got here early, okay, I done mingled, I done did X, Y, and Z. Or you might hear that individual that starts showing their ass and you starting to say, and you be like, all right, they starting their shit, time to go. Or you tell yourself, soon as such and such start their bullcrap, and we all got that family member or friend or somebody that you got to deal with in doses. So when they start their BS, all right, it's time for me to go. I'll see you later. And they be like, what's wrong? You won't even know. You ain't even got to address nothing. See you later. Even in phone conversation, I say that to people all day. You might have somebody that constantly disrespects your boundaries, and so now you got to take control and say, you know what? I'll call you back. I'll talk to you later. When they start that BS on that phone, that drama and all that negativity. Or you might have told somebody, oh, I prefer that you not mention this person to me because I can't stand this individual. And the person will continuously keep bringing up this same individual up in your face. And now, when they start bringing them up, you say, no, I'm going to call you back. Huh? Yeah, I'm going to call you back. As soon as that, oh, you said it, I hear it coming. All right, I'll call you back. And cut the shit dead in the middle. And then now it forces them to think about what they're doing. Because I've told you, and I've told you countless times that this individual I can't stand, and you want to keep bringing this individual up in my face. And it's just a funny thing, because I had told that to somebody that I work with, like, listen, you gotta set a boundary. If you don't appreciate this person bringing them up, you have to start, oh, all right, I'll call you later. Or you present it in a way that they can understand what you're saying, which is being assertive, and just explain in a way that they supposedly are going to get it, but they may not get it, but in a way that they can understand how you're feeling. And then if they do it again, you already know what to do. And that's just the bottom line. And you got some people that will put people on the chopping block and don't even think nothing about it. And that's just the real talk.
That's a zero tolerance level, right? And you know, overall, I just think that people just gotta know who, what, when, where, boundaries, mindfulness, self-respect, mutual respect, effective communication, active listening, accountability, openness, You know what I mean? I can go on with the list of words that I can throw out here for people, right? I just don't. I just don't understand. Like, no matter how many times I can go over a lot of different things, sometimes in life you're just never going to get it.
Nope.
People are never going to understand any of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's your job to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your job to love upon you.
Absolutely.
It's your job to advocate for you. It's your job to say, we're not doing this today.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is that an individual's job. Because think about it. People treat you how you treat yourself. That's first and foremost.
Oh yeah.
I don't care how cliche that sounds, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? Even down to your children. People treat your children and you how they see you treat yourself and your children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's why it's important. It's important what you put out there. It's important what you accept. All of it is extremely important. And you know, the more and more you feel like you need to share, and sharing is not a bad thing. You've got to know who you're sharing to.
That's
And are you sharing because you just want to vent, or are you sharing because you're looking for answers? What are you sharing for? Why are you sharing? Because sometimes people do share. What you think I should do? Even if I tell you something, I don't want to backfire on me.
that part.
I can speak in a hypothetical sense to you and may tell you what I would do, but I'm not going to straight up tell you what you should do.
That part.
Because you know, because think about it, we all grown.
Yeah.
We all grown, and then I'm not going to get tired of and say, see, I told you, why did you do it? I told you. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
You're grown. Do it. Do whatever you think in your mind, feeling your
Or if your heart desires.
whatever it is that works for you, just do it. Please don't ask me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything to give to you. I'm trying to think about what I got to give to me.
I
Not
got
what I
to
have
give.
to you.
I looked around and I don't have it.
No, I don't want to have it. I don't.
Cause that real quick, that I've learned, like, you know, through self awareness. Sometimes I keep my mouth shut. I can shut the fuck up sometimes.
And people want you to listen. They don't.
Yeah, I can shut up.
Listen to them. Listen to them.
I ain't got to give no suggestions because sometimes that will kick you in your ass, and then you looking around like, who, me?
Yeah, you told me to do that. Remember when I talked to you the other day? You said that I should leave him. I love him. Why did you tell me that? Why? Now how I'm gonna get him back, girl? Now you're gonna look around.
Looking like a deer in headlights, cause
Exactly, but some people, you know, that's just what it is. They thrive on it. They love to see drama. They love to tell you stuff they would never do.
Please.
You know, you gotta just know though. You just better know, cause you
know
put
what you're
this
doing
stuff out here. You running them lips. That's your business. I don't have space for none of that. I just feel like life is hard enough.
Yes.
Just enjoy people, enjoy you. Know where you go. Know what you want. Know when it leave your mouth, you can't tell nobody how to react to it.
Yeah.
You know, you are bringing them into having an opinion. And we're in an age where opinions are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at an all-time high, and I am literally sick of hearing them.
But this is the thing about those opinions, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it burns me to the ground, like literally. Mm-hmm. You have to stop, drop, and roll behind the shit that people be saying. So, with an opinion, people gotta really understand that just because you have a strong feeling behind an opinion does not make it a fact. Mm-hmm. And you have people that will go off their rocker behind it. You got a strong feeling behind that, but it doesn't make it a fact regardless of how you feel about it. Mm-hmm. It's just not giving it. Mm-hmm. And that's what people have to really tap into and get an understanding of that, because it's not facts.
Yes, and then, you know, a lot of people have the tendency to run to social media, put their business out there, and then when people chime in, No, you put it out there.
That's the accountability right
You
there.
put it out there, and it didn't go as you planned it to go. You thought that you would get people to be either be in agreement with you
Or what?
or against the person you put something out of. Whatever it is, it backfired on you.
It sure absolutely.
And what you
did.
gotta know about that is everybody don't have the same mindset. You know what I mean? Or maybe some people heard everything you weren't saying in that statement and really seeing what's really happening. And that's the thing, even down to the stuff we say about being submissive or what I would do with my man or my wife or what I wouldn't do in my household, splitting 50-50 or 100%. Oh, please.
That's a total burnout with that.
Please, I'm so sick of hearing it all.
Oh.
Who cares? The number one thing in life, do what works for you and yours. That's it.
Period.
I don't care. I'm not going to go to social media and say, do you think I should pay for that? Or do you think my husband should do it? Do you think? I don't give a damn what you think.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because you're not going to pay it, are you? You're not. You're just going to chime in with your thoughts and your words, and I don't need that.
But people want to talk heavy.
But that's the validation that they're
looking for. Talking heavy, but you can't back it up. A lot of people talk that heavy shit of, I don't pay no bills, I don't do this, I don't do that. Good for you. You know, just like I go back to that 9 to 5 situation. Why are y'all concerned? Why are y'all chopping her up? Oh, wait, because these are the same individuals working a 9 to 5, right? Mm-hmm. These same individuals that may not step into her category. She's looking for people that's on her level. And there's nothing wrong for people to find people that's on their level. That's just like you say, you know, you getting with somebody and you might be a multi-millionaire, but here it is. You think I want somebody with a not? No, I don't. I want somebody matching mine. Match me. And that's just what it is.
Yeah. And that right there is like, that's a little bit tricky too, right?
Exactly.
Because I might be a multi-millionaire, and a man with that 9 to 5 might match me in a lot of other ways.
Right.
And he might have a multi-millionaire mentality, but he probably didn't have the money to start off his multi-millionaire. You know what I mean? So that one is kind of like
the resources. I get what you're saying. Because a lot of
people that's rich are looking for things money can't buy.
And it be people that's crazy in the brain, but
yeah, but I understand with the logic that you're going with, because if I'm a multi-millionaire, I'm not going to sit and deal with somebody that's home all day. You're gonna slow me up. You're holding me up. I need to bounce ideas off of you. I need you to motivate me, because I'm dead going to motivate you. Now what's going on? I can even invest in it. What's happening? What we doing? But if you can't even think that far, if your mind is so, you know, that little bird brain stuff that be going on, if that's all you got, no, you can't be dealing with me.
And not only that, it makes sense. And I was just basing off the matching piece off of the Simone thing. Like, she wants somebody to match her. Not, you know,
that's personal preference.
Yes, and people eat somebody up, but also, like, it could be, there's a lot of women out here with degrees and all types of shit, but they love that, they like they thuggish, you know, they men or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So yes, they match you in other ways as well, and they got their ambition, they got their drive, they doing their thing at the end of the day. So no, I'm not saying equal. Being equal does not mean that the finances have to be equal. We're not necessarily saying that. We're also saying the mindset, because some people might have a dollar, but they're crazy, talking crazy out their mouth. They're crazy.
Absolutely. So with that being said, do what's best for you at the end of the day. Know who you're around, know who you're doing, running that mouth to, all the above. Yes. Because I'm not even an expert in Shannon's life. I don't know who the expert.
And mine's Ashley.
That's it. And that's all. And this is Nash signing off.
Ash signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.